Okay.
I'm at Ripponlea today, which is an old homestead that I don't actually know a lot of history about, but one of the volunteer gardeners and a good friend of mine for many years, Chris. Hello.
Hello, James. Welcome to Ripponlea.
Thank you.
It is one of the oldest homestead heritage gardens here. It's a large property and beautiful flowers and trees. Worthwhile coming. It's a hidden treasure in Melbourne. But we also grow some of the finest dahlias.
Now, some of the finest. Every year you go in a dahlia competition at the Mount Waverley Community Centre.
Oh, I don't win anything.
I know, but
I'm a senior judge.
Some of the showstoppers, though, are things that you've grown.
Yes.
So you know a little bit about it.
Well, I know quite a lot about it, but it doesn't mean that I can always produce the goods. Nature does all the good work and we take the credit. Yes, but...
That's why we're here today.
Yes.
We're here today, and you know, some people would say this is sort of the unattractive process of growing the dahlias because we're not here at the end. And last time when I was here at the end, I saw these 6-foot giants, big flowers on them. But today we're at the bottom end of the process.
What you're seeing now is ugly. That's all I can call them, tubers that are really ugly.
Yep.
And they start after digging something like that.
Yes.
Of course, they haven't been trimmed. We've left them natural.
Right.
But the next process...
Just on that though, how many, if I was dividing, because a lot of people ask about dividing, would I divide that into a certain number, or would I plant?
You can divide as long as they have an eye,
right,
or blister, or a little shoot.
Right.
Each tuber will produce a plant.
Right.
So you can have a lot, or you can also take greens by propagating it, like similar to this, and then taking greens, and you have an enormous production.
It's like they say in the cooking shows. Here's one we did a bit earlier.
That's right. I mean, nature does that. We just put it in lazily and a little bit of water.
Okay, but you say lazily, but one of the crucial things for you is remembering which variety each one is, isn't it?
Sometimes I forget myself till they actually come into flower. And I've planted Mr. Smith and Mrs. Brown, and it turned out that the labels were incorrect. It happens every year.
So Mrs. Smith turned into Mr. Brown?
So I can only really judge them after they flower. And then I go back and remark them correct sort of
never
thing.
thought we'd talk about cross-dressing dahlias.
Well, just about. And they do produce. One thing about dahlias, there's so many varieties that have been lost, not like roses, that there's hundreds of thousands of varieties.
So now if I was going to plant one of these, would I get something like a nice trowel and just go around there like that and take that clump out and plant it?
If you wanted to be on the safe side, I will actually, I haven't got gloves, but the best thing instead of a trowel, nature has given us the best trowel on the planet, fingers.
Right, yes, okay.
It's a lot easier to go underneath, very carefully, with the only care is that you must hold the top. People forget only the bottom. Thank you, James. The root system is growing.
Wow.
Hold it.
Yes.
You can see that it is growing.
Yeah.
And then the hole would be ready. I would remove the bottom leaves.
Yes.
And you can either even remove this. And then I would just plant that about 4 fingers below the surface.
Wow, so this little ugly duckling,
within a month and a half, would be producing its first flower from the crown.
Really? Month and a half?
A month and a half if Melbourne weather, we get a bit of sun.
Now, just to fill people in, this is Cup weekend in Melbourne. This is the Friday before the Melbourne Cup next Tuesday, which makes us late October, going into early November. You plant them at the same time every year?
We plant... we're a little bit late because of the inclement weather that we've had.
Yes.
We were supposed to officially plant today.
Right.
Friday, the 28th. but we will wait till one day after Melbourne Cup, on a Wednesday after Melbourne Cup we'll be planting. But things like this, you can have something in a pot. A tuber was put in
Right.
into a pot,
Yep.
and it was just left, it
Yes.
will grow. Oh, well, we even get caterpillars here, but that means it's healthy.
Caterpillars are
That's
fine.
right.
Now, the date that we're expecting them to flower, like, so say people wanted to come down to Ripponlea and see them at their peak, what are we aiming for there?
Christmas time, if they came to Ripponlea at Christmas,
Yep.
they will see a wonderful flush of colour,
Yes.
and hopefully it will last till Mother's Day, which is in May.
Right.
It lasts, we get flowers here for 6 months.
Now, of course, the Dahlia show at Mount Waverley Town Hall is on in February.
February, the last Saturday, which is historical sort of thing,
Right.
always the last Saturday in Feb.
And they would be just at their greatest of that.
Those top exhibitors
Yeah.
actually nurture, like shepherds, to produce the best blooms for that particular day. And some of them that don't produce, or it's gone past its best, by that Saturday almost cry.
And a lot of them have little trade secrets that they're not too forward in talking about, Chris, are they? And
No, but they've changed. Things have become a little bit gone are the days when it was almost territorial, and
there was
you had to
fights
be-
at the judging and
terrible, terrible, and cheating also about exhibits.
really?
The stem would break, and they would also put a bit of bamboo, stick it back again, just to show that it had a long stem.
Now, the more I'm looking down here, the more I'm seeing you've got quite a lot more than it just appears to the eye. How many different varieties have you got here, Chris?
120 varieties.
Really?
120 varieties.
Wow. That's a
And
lot.
we also grow here the oldest known dahlia in Australia,
Wow.
named after Sargood, the first owner of Ripponlea.
Sargood.
Sargood.
Yeah, the Sargood family.
That's right.
Yeah, right. Now, we might get you to show us which garden bed these are going into. Now, do you think we need to take our brollies? Because,
I think it would be a good idea. This is
Well-
Melbourne after all.
and look, I want to show mine off. Because, I think that's worth showing off, don't you?
Well, we all have very colourful ones today. Gone are the old black ones.
Yes. We're very trendy, aren't we, with our umbrellas?
We are dahlia growers, and
Yes.
they're colourful.
Yes. All right, well, let's head down this way and...
You don't want to take anything, a jacket?
Nah, it'll be fine. Let's do it.
That's it.
Now, before we...
Still recording, are you?
We'll do a little bit. Now, before we go down there, let's just sneak down here. I want to ask you about a couple of things. Ooh. I might close this. I might break a few of the viburnum snowball tree flowers off.
There's quite a few of them.
Have the umbrella.
It's a shame we don't get to see the best because of the storms that we've had. A lot of those.
Tell you what though, people love this viburnum, don't they? They want one when they see it, and it's called the marshmallow tree.
It is elegant.
Isn't
It's
it?
simple. If you didn't like something like this,
Yeah.
you wouldn't be a real gardener.
Now I've got another question for you. There's an unusual plant here. I am actually thinking this is a geranium.
It is indeed. It's a species geranium.
Madurense.
That's correct.
And it's giant leaves, and it's one of those ones that sort of sets seed, doesn't it? And it dies
You can
off, and then
see it's already setting.
right.
It does set very quickly.
Yes.
It's a bit like coriander. As soon as a bit of warm weather comes, it goes to seed very quickly.
Yes. And what about this big baby right here behind us?
Oh, look, those ficus. There's even a bigger one than that. And
Right.
look, I call it the dragon tree.
Look at the roots on it.
This is only a baby. We
Wow.
don't actually see the daddy of them all.
Well, I'll tell you what, let's whip round to this garden bed where we're going to put the dahlias, because we're going to come back in January and see if you can grow these like you say.
Look, but we will actually see the ficus. I think the viewers have to actually...
A lovely little vista, isn't it? Hey?
Oh, the whole lot.
Hey, lovely.
Look, the good thing is that you don't think you're in Melbourne.
Look at these.
Why would you want to travel?
Wow. Amazing. Amazing. Hey, absolutely amazing.
They are amazing, really.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Wow. Amazing as well.
There's something for every gardener here.
Yeah.
For every gardener.
Oh, we've got the beautiful little, what do we call that? There's a name for that. That's it.
Okay.
Arboretum.
Come and have a look at this. This is the biggest ficus that you can imagine.
Wow.
It's eaten the fence. The original fence 100 years ago has been consumed by the tree. Also bluestone work, and it's got the most ginormous root system that you can imagine.
Wow. Now, you'd almost say it was carnivorous for eating that fence.
Yeah, within 10 years, the whole fence and metal would have disappeared.
Digested.
Oh, for sure. You can see the foundations have already been...
You know what it's probably after? It's after the iron.
Well,
For greening up the leaves.
I can't ask the question to get an answer for that one. But look at this root system.
Yeah.
It does actually remind me of a dragon. But
Yes, it does.
okay,
Now,
let's have
we're going to find this little garden bed, past the arboretum, and
And walking through here to get to the dahlia bed, I'm always amazed the wonderful colours that actually come seasonally.
yes. Now I see some poppies.
Poppies,
Here?
yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Some luscious pink, but one of my favourite, and it is blue, is the cornflower.
Now that is very apt you say that, because Derby Day, which is tomorrow, is the cornflower, is
Really?
the flower of the day. And
Probably one of my favourite little things that you can imagine.
if we were going to the races tomorrow, we'd be taking one of these each to put in our lapels.
I didn't know that.
Yes. Well, it's,
Cornflower. And
I'm not a gambling man, but I have been to the
But
paddock.
also, they don't all come in blue, of course.
Yeah, beautiful. And
Okay.
the building, just with the arches, and do you know what sort of architecture they call it? No, you don't. Come on, continue on.
It is definitely not
Oh,
Georgian.
here it is.
And
This is the spot.
this looks
This
Yeah.
is the spot. Now, it doesn't look
looks
much.
like large toothpicks.
And this is what I'm saying, it's not the most attractive time to be doing the story on dahlias for most people, but for you and I, we can see there's a lot of work going into this straight away.
Beautiful soil
Yes.
and definitely raised bed. To grow good dahlias, you need to have your raised bed.
Yep.
And one thing that we spoke in the last few years is the trench method.
Tell us about the trench method.
Well,
Jump in there and tell us.
You can see here between the stakes,
Yep.
you dig a trench,
Right.
you fill it with your compost,
Yep.
mulch,
Yes.
pea straw, lucerne,
Oops. Yep.
fertiliser.
And that's in here, is it?
All you can see, it's almost like a freeway.
So compost, mulch,
Fertiliser,
pea straw. What straw did you use?
pea straw,
Pea
and,
straw.
and lucerne.
And lucerne.
And
Wow.
lucerne combined, whatever, even if you have leaves or newspapers, just put it in. I also put a bit of dolomite and a little bit of Epsom salts.
So are you saying you've only actually done the row for these stakes and you haven't done...
Do you see the good thing
Oh, yeah.
by having a middle freeway?
Yeah.
The root system is circular, so it would both be
Aha.
getting the nutrients and
Yeah.
also. And now we've had a lot of rain. And
Yes.
if you do get any flooding, you don't lose all the good nutrients.
Okay.
The capsule is being lower down.
Yes.
It allows the root system to take the benefit instead of being wasted.
Now, with the stakes, do you actually have to tie the plants to the stakes, or is this more for support for the body's outer body?
No. Dahlias now have, in the last 50, 100 years,
Yeah.
from little things when they were originally found,
Yes.
now they've become ginormous. And they would go, some of them higher than this stake.
Yeah.
You can get varieties which are short growing, but well-grown dahlias will always.
Now, for the learners out there, right, there's a few different categories of dahlia flowers. Like I know one is pom-poms, isn't it?
Oh, well, that's one of the most popular.
Right.
Ball dahlias and pom-poms.
Balls and pom-poms. What else have we got?
We have collarets, cactus, decoratives.
Collarette,
orchids.
cactus, decorative. You're saying it too fast. We're just taking all these new words in.
But decorative and cactus also have size type. So
Right.
you could have your miniature,
Wow.
small, medium, large and giant. And some of them are truly big giants.
Big as dinner plates.
Are bigger than dinner plates, some of them.
Bigger.
Bigger
Wow.
than dinner plates.
Okay.
And there's some growing, not as many here in this country, in UK and America, in the old 17 ounces.
Gee.
You are talking something that,
Yeah.
yes. But
Where did they originally grow them? Was it in England or?
no, Mexico,
Right.
Guatemala,
Oh, yeah.
Colombia,
Right.
all of that. And they, surprisingly, they were found in mountainous areas.
Right.
As much as in shale, and pH was almost acidic,
Yep.
and they were single flowers,
Okay.
a little red.
I've got a question for you. I'm just looking at the building and I'm saying to myself, have you got enough sunshine to grow these dahlia crops?
Excessively. It's almost a perfect spot.
So, but you're
You
going to
have-
miss the afternoon sun.
Oh, the afternoon sun takes a long time before it disappears here.
Okay, so it's a
It only would leave after 5 o'clock.
so it's quite deceiving.
It is very deceiving. This is
Yeah.
almost the ultimate dahlia bed.
You found it. You spent years looking for it,
Well,
and you found the ultimate dahlia bed.
Well,
Do you have to do another trench here?
I do one trench a year.
Okay. How long did that take you to do?
I'm still recovering. I'm still recovering. It's
Quite a few hours and banging these in.
I shouldn't be doing it, as you know, after
No.
surgery,
Yes.
to be doing trenches. But look,
Yeah.
if instead of being silly and doing it in one day, you can take your
Yeah.
time and do it. But it will reward you.
Oh, well, I can't wait to come back and just show everyone. And if you're in the area of Elsternwick and you want to see some beautiful dahlias here in December, January, February, Ripponlea is the place
And
to
at the
be.
moment, come right now and see one of the nicest cutting gardens. Okay, the sun is not out. You can see almost like a Monet garden.
Wow, this
Beautiful
looks
irises.
incredible.
Look at the colour here.
Yeah.
This is
Wow, do you know what this is? Is it an aquilegia? There. It's just so delicate, isn't it?
shame that, and there is the Irish show this Saturday or Sunday. Sunday.
Which show?
The Irish on the 8th.
Okay.
Okay.
Have a look at this little aquilegia. Look at the delicate shape of that flower. Oh, and then the lemon yellow one down here. Just absolutely beautiful. And you've got the Californian poppies in the orange there, which during the drought, they were in the top 10 flowers to grow during a drought, which is not exactly what we're going through at the moment, is it?
No. Regret, you can see that due to the weather and the irises have taken a beating and everything else. But you can see, and this was only
one of my favourite flowers. Can we go around there? Oh,
Lupin.
yes. Come on, let's go and have a look. Is there a path down there?
Oh, it is indeed.
Yeah.
This, look, I must commend the lead gardener here.
Right.
Muldooney.
Yes.
She found this almost a bare area. A few vegetables were growing.
That's right. You had that red lettuce growing here, didn't you?
At the restaurant had it for some vegetables.
Yeah.
And over 2 years, Alicia's been able to transform this into a
Yeah.
paradise.
Wow, here it is here.
Look,
Now,
how good is this?
when I think of the Chelsea Flower Show, which I've never been to, have you ever been?
No. I only,
Maybe we could do a boys' trip.
well,
Greek Islands, Chelsea Flower Show.
we're so very proud that Wes Fleming initiated that.
Yes.
And I think he won the first gold medal, didn't he?
Yeah, and Best in Show.
Best in show, yeah.
Yeah, him and Philip.
Yeah, Australian gardeners really punch well above their weight.
And the thing about our garden show is in autumn, and we miss plants like this when we have our wonderful garden show at the Carlton Gardens. But at Chelsea, you get to see the snapdragons and the lupins and the delphiniums and the irises, which is and this one I can't recall that one. It's one of those bulby type things, or actually, good question. Dahlias.
Yes.
Is it a bulb?
Yes, it is a bulb.
But some people would say it's a corm.
Well, tuberous. Anything which is tuberous, potato,
Yep.
there's that sort of thing. It is a.
So it's a
bulb.
tuber.
So it comes under bulb.
Look at the kids, are loving it in here. They're just out for a bit of a walk.
Yes.
It's great,
When
isn't
I
it?
first started Dahlias, I didn't even know the name was tuber. I just call them potatoes. 40 years ago.
This is an amazing plant. I think this is
Looks
that.
like it's got webbing.
Now, is this the sea holly?
It is indeed. You know,
And-
look, you don't have to ask me. You know your plants a lot better than
I know half of them here,
me. Yes.
right? Not all of them. But this reminds me of underwater. You know, being near a reef and looking under the water and seeing that in the water, which is why I reckon it's called the
It
sea
reminds
holly.
me, if you know anything about sea urchins,
Yes,
the spikes,
yes.
that sort of thing. Yes. Look, people's imagination when it comes to garden, you
It's
can
not-
see
yeah.
things that nature.
And it's not just about flowers, it's the foliage as well. Like, look at this little Achillea. Beautiful flower, but a really nice foliage as well. A little sort of furry plant.
Look, it's
And they're
a
gonna
lovely
be great.
combination. And when you look
Yeah.
around, what was achieved in such a short period of time,
And look at the background. To have a wisteria
so elegant.
in the background behind us, it's slightly past its peak.
And
But-
next to it is one of the world-class ferneries. It's
Right.
listed amongst the top 60
Ferneries.
listed ferneries
Right.
in the world.
Gee, that's ahead of mine. Mine must be number 61. I love my fernery, you know, the south side of the house.
Yes.
What else do you put in but a few ferns? And of course another spectacular plant behind us here, the foxglove, which almost, does it match my umbrella? I think it does.
Just about.
I think it goes beautifully with the umbrella.
Yes.
Hey?
It does indeed.
And of course the rambling nasturtiums, which
Well,
on it, but have a look at this, on a day like today, right? Day like today,
you can see
we take a leaf. Now, oh, it's not working too well, is
Well,
it?
it is.
Oh, there it goes.
It's almost like mercury.
It is. It's like mercury. We probably needed a little bit more water for that experiment to go.
We don't want
Slightly
that more
better.
water. I think we've had enough of water for.
Oh, another iris, just of incredible colour and beauty. And then throwing next to it the good old sort of Sweet William carnation type
and
plant.
different colours.
Or even dianthus.
They've blended.
Yes.
No, well done to the gardeners.
Oh, how many gardeners are there here at Ripponlea?
4 permanent ones.
4 permanent?
I must say short staff in many ways.
Yes.
To run not only Ripponlea, Coma and many of the other National Trust properties.
Yes.
They're very sympathetic, so when I do volunteer here, I think I'm helping out a little bit.
I do too.
And
Yeah.
so,
How do you like the crows? They're pretty noisy, aren't they?
well, I prefer magpies, being a Collingwood supporter, of course. And
Come
if
on.
I find any little grubs, they come and get a nice feed.
Do they?
Oh, look, we have foxes here. We've got
Foxes, wow.
foxes, possums.
Okay, now, this place is huge. We've only seen a fraction of it. And
You need to come back again
oh, we'll come back
for a
again.
different season.
But can we
And
walk
also
in
come-
reverse? Let's walk this way because I want to hear, my friend, 2 secret tips about growing dahlias that you've
Okay.
never told anyone before.
Never overwater your dahlias when you first plant. That is the first secret.
Right.
Most people actually destroy their plants by overwatering. You must remember the tuber has already got water.
Right.
And if you're adding water on top of it and a bit of sun, you're cooking them.
Yes.
They will rot, they won't produce the wonderful stems and so forth. And fertilise incrementally. Don't just throw the fertiliser.
Yep.
As the plant grows on a circular motion
Yes.
so that it extends its root system,
Yep.
and always on very hot days in summer, you never water during the day,
Right.
late evening.
Really?
So that they've got water overnight so that they can face the hot day the following day.
Interesting.
You're actually baking the plant if you're actually putting
Yes.
the water. So they're the little secrets that I'd hear, and they've served me well.
Well, Chris, it's been an absolute pleasure to come and visit you at Ripponlea, an honour. Thank you very much, and all the best for this season's flowers.
Thank you, James. Thank you for your friendship. You're a wonderful gardener yourself.
All right, here we are at Ripponlea, and it's dahlia planting time.